Here he is.
Here he is. There he goes. The
How
boys
are
are
we,
back in
mate?
town. Yeah, mate, I'm good. How are you?
I am very well. How are you, dude?
Oh, I'm amazing. You've just asked me that, Tom. You're
I did,
dead,
didn't
aren't
I?
you, mate?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I am fine.
Are we both
What
on
is?
peak week?
We are. Yes, we are indeed.
Couldn't be more different, though, could it?
What do you mean? What I mean in terms of like what we're doing, like
Yeah,
shows?
because I've got not shows, just peak week. I've got to bloody account for a chuffing flight. I don't even know how long the
Yeah.
flight is.
Well, I've got
Ugh.
to account for this, mate.
Oh, what is it? Your edema? Is it back?
Yeah. It's not good. It's genuinely not good, mate.
Told you.
It's a little bit like worrying. So like I've had, let's just call it some lifestyle stress creeping,
Okay.
and it is crazy, man. Like absolutely crazy the effect it's having on my body, and it's a little bit of a what do you call it? A snowball effect. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
because of the stress that I'm experiencing from lifestyle
Life.
stuff, external stressors, I'm then seeing that reflected in my physique, and I'm then stressing about that on top of
Even
it. So
more.
it's all compounding. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, it's going to be a close one, genuinely, for this weekend as to whether we can put it back in. And I'm not
Nah,
just
you will.
saying that. I'm not just saying that to like lead on for the podcast. Like, what happens next? You're going to have to tune in to see.
You're gonna
Um,
roll onto the stage.
Literally, but yeah, this is week number 30 of prep now,
Yeah, you're hitting that
and
sweet spot of your
hitting that
body's
sweet
just
spot.
fooked.
Yeah, little bit fuked, and then it's just super sensitive right now to water retention. It seems like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fine. It'll be fine, but we'll see. That's all we can do. We're trying our absolute best now to essentially bring it in. I'm just being brutally honest, but it's definitely
I
not
have a
the best
question.
peak week. Yes.
I have a question. Have you had or do you have massages?
No, but when you said that, mate, I was like, that's why I was like, oh,
I've,
before this podcast, I said, I was like, I'm going to get a
yeah.
bath. And you were like, no, I've got a consult at 8. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. So if I don't get this water off in time, mate, it's all your fault.
Nah, mate, massages. I'm telling you, I've just been for one now. It works wonders.
Like a deep tissue?
I have like Thai massage. So it's deep tissue. They walk on your back, they stroke your hair and tell you, oh yeah, very strong man. Did you just come out feeling good? I feel fantastic.
I'm going to
And
go for
it's
one
my second
tomorrow.
one that I've had in the past like 5 days, just to prepare
Okay.
for like flying and all the stress that the body's going to be under with flying and being in a different time zone and all that kind of crap. I would recommend you get one in the next 24 hours because then you're going to get the benefit before the end of the week.
Yeah, that's sooner rather than later. I
Yeah.
definitely need to get. What do you think about? Do you find sunbeds relax you, or do you not ever get sunbeds ever?
I don't look, I did back in the day. I don't anymore because Annabella would leave me. Um, but what I found when I was competing and going on the sunbeds, I would end up with like just a little bit of inflammation, and it would just make my skin just a little bit soft.
Yeah,
So
got
I
you.
tended to avoid it. Why? What's your crack with the sunbeds?
I just no, I like how warm they are. They just like relax me. That's
So
like that's the one thing.
Thai massage, mate. Heated bed.
Okay.
It's like
Okay,
being
so
on a
plan of
sunbed.
action then. Plan of action. You're part of the peak process now.
Yeah, boy.
We're
No
gonna get a
strokes
nice
involved.
warm. We're gonna get a nice warm bath today,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go for a nice Thai massage tomorrow. Pre or post workout? Post workout.
Post for sure. I've just added
Post.
it post workout. With your bath, are you having Epsom salt?
Yeah.
Good man. Half a bag.
Oh no, no.
Half a bag protocol.
Do I have any? I think I have some. Full bag, mate. I'm just whacking it all in there. Kilogram of it.
Whoa.
Oosh. Yeah, literally. Like, oh, take 4 scooped handfuls. Nah, oosh, straight in.
Oosh.
So yeah, gonna get a nice little bath after this, mate. Thai massage tomorrow after my training session. and just chill out. I went to the cinema on my own last night.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
I'm
nice.
it is nice. There's nothing wrong with it. My first prep, I did that quite a lot. In fact, I did that on my second prep quite a lot as well. I
Yeah, so
admire it. What did you
just
watch?
the creator.
Right. Give us a brief synopsis and then a score out of 10.
So it's made by I think it was directed by the same person that did Rogue One, Star Wars.
Oh.
So it's kind of like sci-fi, like super sci-fi. Basically, it's all about AI and humans. AI becomes almost human, if you know what I'm trying to say. And then like there's like
Mm.
this big divide between humans and AI. La 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 la. And the AI almost have become not. Well, I guess you could say like self-aware. They believe in like a god and stuff like that,
Oh,
like
goodness.
sentient beings, I guess.
Oh.
And basically humans go to war against them,
Who
and there's
wins?
this like I'm not
Oh,
spoiling,
is
man.
that a spoiler?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
There'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
people literally going, "No, no, Tom, don't
Yeah.
answer."
But there's this one like child who's like the chosen one, who's like a god, and it's an AI like child, and
Yeah. It's Jack
basically that
Hattersley,
yeah, it's Jack
the chosen one.
Hattersley. And yeah, basically humans are after the child because the child has the ability to like bring down the humans and stuff like that. But really, really
Nice.
good. If you like sci-fi, you'll enjoy that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go watch it. Yeah, 100%.
I think I will.
But yeah, anyway, mate. So peak week is upon us. How are you feeling?
I'm super excited. I've got zero expectations on this weekend. I'll be going on stage potentially 4 times over 2 days. How on earth do you peak for that? I have no idea. So we just go in full throttle every single time. I can see burgers being used on the Saturday night to try and fill up for the Sunday with lots of chips. Um, yeah, yeah, it's just going to be a great weekend. And then
Nice.
obviously, mate, training at Alpha Land on Wednesday in 2
Unreal.
days. I'm going to be training at Alpha Land with Sam, my videographer, and Annabella, my girlfriend. What a time
Unreal.
to be alive.
The thing is, as well, man, like obviously no expectations for like the show and whatnot. I believe you're going to do very, very well regardless. But even just that experience, mate, is going to be sick.
Yeah, it is. Like
That's
genuinely
a sick
life
trip.
changing, and yeah, yeah,
And you're
it's
going to
just gonna be
become
amazing.
sorry, everyone, as well. This is just all the edema coming out of my nose. But yeah, like in terms of you're going to become an Alphalete sponsored athlete, or will you?
Or will I? Well, could that potentially not be
Hmm.
a thing? We both
Like,
just looked at each other through the camera there, like, ha 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 ha. We know
nah,
something.
you're not like. I feel like if you did get sponsored by athlete, they'd probably kick you off the team for like just not being like fully invested or all in into the
Yeah,
brand. If you
yeah,
know what I'm trying to say, like you weren't just all in on the
yeah. I
brand. So
know.
I think they would just probably boot you off. To be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Look, you're either all in or you don't bother, in my opinion. And I think that's what they're going to see, and they're going to boot me. Which fair
Yeah,
enough.
I bet
I'd do the
it's
same.
mate. Just anything in life. If you really want to do well at it, you need to be all in. Like when
On
it
it.
comes to
Yeah,
prep,
yeah.
when it comes to being a sponsored athlete, when it comes to pushing so hard that you get edema across your face and your whole body, like you just got to be
Oh,
all in.
oh yeah, boy. Oh yeah. I love your redeemer. In like 5
Same.
months' time, we're gonna be like laughing because we're both gonna have really fat faces, and then we're just gonna be like, "It's all edema, bro. It's all
Yeah.
edema.
It's
I'm
just
still
water,
shredded."
bro. Just wait until peak week, man.
Yeah. My
But yeah.
protocol's gonna fix it.
Oh, exactly. Just that 20 peak max per day.
Oh yes.
But yeah, exciting stuff, mate. How are you feeling now in regards to physique? Do you have a set plan of action for your peaking process with the travel?
Yeah. So the physique's there for what I want. I'm sure I could have dug in more over the last week, but I've still got 2 more shows after this. I'll just
Hmm.
end up in edema central and die of just losing all my muscle mass. So at the minute, mate, the physique. In fact, I'm gonna send you a photo that I took earlier,
Oh, don't make
and
me feel bad about mine, mate.
we're gonna get a live reaction. But honestly, I am. I'm pretty happy. I obviously know I'm going to be against people that are on the old magic juice, but who cares? Who cares? Right, let's go for
How many
this
carbs are you
one.
loading on?
So today I'm I'm literally just having 250 today, and then tomorrow will be 350 travel day. So because of the time difference, we're going to end up with a day that is 30 hours long.
Yeah.
So that day is going to naturally be higher because, obviously, just the sheer like duration of time being awake. I'm just finding the right photos to send to you.
Come on, mate. I can't wait any longer.
There we go. There we go. They'll do. They'll do. They'll
That'll
do.
do, donkey. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, the front shot.
The front shot.
Is this
So anyone
post-time
that's
massage?
listening to this, these will be on Instagram now, but they're going on Instagram tomorrow, Tom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is after 100 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
Yesterday was quite a low day, so it's very, very flat. But it's just going to come to life, which is exciting.
Mate, I look so battered compared to you.
Yeah, but I'm a pussy. That's the only reason why I'm not battered. I'm too scared. Now, so with the flying and whatnot, I'm not sure if I said it on a previous podcast, but basically it's going to be a liter of water and a cup of coffee every hour for the duration of the flight, just to hold off on the water. And then when we land, we'll assess the look. And if I need to go and do like some sauna time, or maybe even have an Epsom salt bath because of the water retention, I've got some travel socks, you know, like the socks that they give you in hospital that like go up to
Mhm.
your knee. I've got some of them to stop the blood pooling. Yeah, loads of things in place. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait.
Nice, mate. You've got it on lock.
Yeah, do you know? Having done it before, I do feel a lot less.
Stressed.
Yeah, I've like I'm genuinely not worried.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
That's what we want, mate.
yeah,
Nice and chill heading into it. It's going to be a good time. You're going to fucking smash it. I'm excited for you, mate.
yeah, yeah. Fill the rig. Let's go.
Right. I
Go
got a
on,
question for you.
hit me.
What is
Have you made notes this week?
I haven't got notes. I've got notes here, okay? Okay, so what's the dumbest thing you've ever done, man, in regards to like your training in the past?
Or training?
Yeah, no, not I
Hmm.
mean like the dumbest thing that you used to do, just like back in the day.
I actually was thinking that a question that I could ask you was, "What's the most bro thing that you've ever done?" So it's very similar.
Okay, let's go down that. It's pretty like similar.
So the I would say the stupidest thing that I've done is I used to take pre-workout before playing football matches, and then at halftime I would take another pre-workout for the second half. And
Like
like, there's no reason to do that. Like, it's just loads of caffeine. But at the time, I thought that I was playing like Ronaldo.
how old was you?
This is between 16 and 19. This wasn't a one-time thing or like a 1 year. This was a period of time where I
Really?
smashed pre-workout.
Was
Yeah.
it like C4 or something?
It was CSN, BSN,
BSN.
No Explode, I think it was
No
called.
explode.
Oh.
Oh yes. Classic.
Yeah, the kids that are listening to this are going, no
Don't know
idea
what
what
that
you're
is.
talking about. But anyone that's over the age of 23, we're all saluting.
Absolutely. Do you know some like nostalgic prees. Come on. Come on. C4 obviously is like that's like your entry point.
Yeah, yeah. The first ever pre-workout that I ever took was Jack 3D.
The first one you ever
First one I ever took. Shout out to my mate James Marshall, who thought it was a genius idea to give me that. The first ever time I went to the gym.
Oh, you may as well have gone to like a drum and bass event.
Yeah, yeah. Bloody
Jesus
taking.
Christ.
Yeah, yeah. That it was wild, wild. I
Yeah,
felt
good though.
horrific.
Nah, it's good. So Jack 3D, obviously very nostalgic. Did you ever have any like the Blackstone Lab stuff?
No, I'm glad I've not. That guy's gone to prison, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got to prison now. So I've definitely never had any of that. But
You ever took
whatever.
it before a football match? That's a question.
Oh my god, there wouldn't be a football left, mate. You'd be like, I don't. You'd be on the floor like chewing it.
Yeah.
What else? Nostalgic prees. Have you ever had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yeah. I actually, whatever the pump one was,
I think it was Mr. Hyde.
yeah, I took that before my first ever show.
Did you?
Yeah. Do you know what, mate? The things that my brain remembers is really quite bizarre, but I've forgotten to get half of the food that I need for today. But yeah, I remember what pre I took before my first ever show. Bizarre.
Priorities, mate. You're a true gym bro, aren't you?
I am, mate. I am.
I like it. But no. So bro things that you've done is taken pre-workouts before football.
Yeah.
I like it.
What's yours?
Um I would probably say like just dumbest thing is like zero consideration for it at all. This is whilst I was at university, like taking pre-workouts at like 11 p.m.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Have you ever had the pre-workout called The Curse?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to work at Domino's and we used to finish our shifts at like 1 or 2 in the morning. Again, shout out to another OG of my boys, Dan Green. We used to train legs at 2 in the morning.
Off your head on pre-workout.
Off our head. And I'm telling you, I had the curse for the first time, which is quite high in caffeine. And I didn't sleep until the following night. And I tried to go to sleep as well. It's not like it was I'll just do an all-nighter. I was laid in bed trying to sleep.
Yeah. No, like genuinely, like I would finish up because like time scheduling at uni was just awful. Like I was just useless. I would finish my work at like 9 p.m. I'd have a pre-workout meal, which would be like pizza or something, and then I would take like some gnarly pre-workouts, like Blackstone Labs pre-workouts. Or there was one called Olympus Labs. Oh, what was it called? Like Trojan or something like that. It's ridiculous, man.
Nice.
And yeah, at like midnight, just taking pre-workout and then going to the gym off your head, training, getting home, not sleeping till 4 a.m. Like in what right is that like a good thing or justified? But I did it.
I have a question to ask you then based off of that. So that is the absolute opposite of optimal of like no one does
Awesome.
that. Nobody does that anymore. Did you
Wow.
make any progress at all during that period of time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not very good progress.
Yeah. I often ask myself, what if I was a little bit more, on the optimal side during them years of training? How much more progress could have been made? But still, I did it, made progress, and here we are today. So no regrets.
And
No regrets.
and you learn, so you won't do that again now. So it's only going to enhance your progress moving forward. But I gave myself flat out anxiety disorder with that
My
because of the
God.
lack of sleep, because of the stress, I had such bad anxiety in my third year of uni, and I put it down to that. Like just like the
Really?
lack of sleep, never, yeah, mate, horrible. Like it was my anxiety. I'd have panic attacks all the time at university,
Wow.
like
Wow.
really bad.
Where
But
did you
anything
go
for
to
the games.
uni?
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Plymouth
Ah,
University. It was all
nice.
right. I
Yeah.
actually really enjoyed uni, but I just didn't. I didn't even apply for one job when I left.
What did you study?
Product design.
Wow.
So I'm a designer at heart, and I loved it. I absolutely loved the degree, but I was like, nah, I just kind of want to do fitness. Don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make something of it, and that was it. Didn't
Nice.
apply for one job. 45 grand of debt. Thank you very much.
Yeah, in it. That you're never going to pay off because you'll have your business registered in such a smart way. Yes.
Thank you
Good
very
on
much,
you.
Coach Accounts. Shout out to you.
Oh, are you with Coach Accounts?
I
This is
am
quite an interesting
indeed.
one. Right. Okay.
Yeah, good
Nice.
guys, really good guys. The sound.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was my bro thing. Taking pre-workout at like 11 p.m. So fantastic idea.
Genius. So I've been vlogging today. 5
you?
days or 6 days out, whatever. I just thought, you know what? Pick up the camera, record a few bits. I've just reminded myself that I completely forgot to record the last like 3 or 4 hours, but oh well, I'll just wing it. And one of the thoughts that came into my mind was every single prep that I've done, I would say that I learned something about myself on like a deeper level,
Yeah.
right? So my first ever prep, I would say that I learned that I have the ability to see something through rather than just starting something, giving it a whirl for a few weeks and then, sacking it off. I started something, I did the process and I saw the end goal, like ticked it all off. This prep this year, the last 30 weeks for you, what would you say the biggest lesson has been that you've learned from prep? That is quite a heavy question to ask you.
It's quite a heavy question to ask me in my defeated, tired mind right now. I would say that's a tough one, man. I would say like that. There's just another level to things when you think that you've given all you can give.
Yeah,
Um, but also the important now I'd say more so the importance of prioritizing yourself and not so much like others all the time. Like you need to be able to, in order for you to do well in life, you need to be able to sometimes be a bit selfish,
yeah,
if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, because if you constantly tend to other people or put other people's concerns before yours too much, it's only going to drag you down. Obviously, that's not like to say be a shit person in a
yeah,
sense, but if you truly, truly want to exceed at something, you need to learn when to be selfish, but then also when to,
yeah.
put
I
put
think
your put other people before yourself.
I think the beauty of a prep as well, like if you are saying like, yeah, I need to be selfish for this period of time, there is an end point. It's not like this is you as an individual for the rest of your life. You've probably you've either got until Sunday or a few more weeks, and then you're done. You know,
Hmm.
like your short term personality traits on like long term characteristics of you. Does that make
No,
sense?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, uh, and again, that applies obviously to a lot of things. It's like if you've got like a big, big goal that you're working towards, whether it's building a business, whether it's, a competition prep, like you do need to be selfish, and I do feel that you know, is a necessary in order to really, really excel at it. Especially
Absolutely.
like the higher you go up in the levels, like in terms of like the progression, I feel like it becomes even more prevalent. But yeah, that's what I would say, man. To be honest with you, you need to learn when to be selfish and also when to give back,
Good man.
because you can always give back. At a later day, like you said, a couple more weeks or
Absolutely.
something like that.
Yeah,
What about you?
it's not long at all. What about me? What did I say? I came out with a really good one. Right, so mine, and this podcast is massively to do with it. Um, I am a lot better at keeping promises with myself. So I trust my own word a lot more now than what I ever have done. Like, I can't remember the last time I said something and didn't at least try and see the majority of it through.
Yeah.
And I would say this prep, like I started off the prep reeling off a load of really big shows that I want to go and do. And as of like right now, they're all going to happen. They're all booked and paid for. And like when I originally said it, there was no plan of like figuring out how to pay for it. There was definitely no money saved up to pay for it. But between that date and now, we've got there. So I've kept my word with myself. And then like, we trained together. I said, let's start a podcast. Let's give that a go. And here we are now. And yeah, you know, like life is just on the up.
I could
On
see
the up.
that you're like, no, we have to do it. We have to do it
Yeah,
because I was a little bit like I'm in a sense of like we didn't have the branding together and that for the podcast. So I was like, oh, maybe just hold off. And you're like, no,
yeah,
Tom, we're putting it out. And so I was like, okay. and then obviously got together like the temporary brand. By the way, if you're watching this, we're leveling up soon. All right, I'm not gonna talk too much. I don't want to create
Yeah.
false promises. I want to just under promise, over deliver.
No,
All
no,
right.
no, Tom, learn from me here. Promise whatever you want to promise, 'cause we're gonna do it.
Deliver it.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
gonna
it's going to
deliver.
be sick. We're like leveling up the podcast
We
in
actually
many.
are.
We actually are. So just sit tight for it, okay?
Yeah,
But yeah, like I could see it, like when we're like, should we do a podcast? And then recording the first episode, had the podcast episode ready to go, and you're like, no, get it out now, like just fire it out. So I was like, okay, it's gone, it's done. All right, I'm sorry, Josh, I'm sorry, but now I respect that, because sometimes, do you know when someone says they're a perfectionist?
yeah,
Right? This is one thing that bugs me is, oh, I'm a perfectionist. So I don't put stuff out, and I don't like create videos, or I don't do this. I don't put Instagram posts out because it's not perfect. How do you know something isn't perfect unless you put it out there and then get critique? And then
yeah,
you perfect that from the critique or from the response. It's like, no, you're not a perfectionist, because if you were a perfectionist, you would get it out there, refine, put more out there, refine. I just wanted to say that. Like, and for instance, when someone says, oh no, like I can't do this because I'll be rubbish and I'm too much of a perfectionist. Like, how does a perfectionist get good? You know?
yeah. How do you know what perfection is if you've not
Exactly.
trialed and errored a few times before?
Yeah.
I have this quite a lot because my DMs at the minute, I'm getting quite a lot of like young people like, oh my god, Josh, how do you do this? How do you do that? Oh, I want to be an online coach. I want to be a PT. Da, da, da. It's just like I think everyone wants to start like 10 years down the line. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm not going to bother. I'm not even going to even try and be a micro influencer unless I've got the following and community of someone like AJ Morris, or and I'm not even going to compete until I look like Sebum.
Mhm.
Just start making some pancakes, and if they're not very good, you throw them away, and eventually
Mhm.
you're going to get there, and it's going to be good.
And mate, I couldn't agree more. And it's like, when what would you even do if you were just handed the community of AJ Morris?
Oh, you
Like,
shit yourself, wouldn't you?
you'd fucking
Oh,
shit
mate.
yourself. You wouldn't know what to do with it, man. Like, so to expect that straight away, it's like, no, you don't want that. You don't want 10 clients straight. You don't even want 5 clients straight away.
Mate,
You want
oh,
2, and then
Tom,
look after them, get good. Yeah.
you're 100% right. I was speaking to a guy the other day. I'm not going to name names because he's probably listening, but it was literally like, yeah, in the next 12 months, I've got a plan to have 60 clients. I was like, right, that's online clients. I was like, that's really, really interesting, and I hope you succeed. But you're going to go from dealing with no people to 60 people, and that's 60 people's like questions, 60 people's check-ins, 60 people. Like that is so many people. Put 60 people in a room, and you're going to need a bloody big room. Like,
It's 10 check-ins per day
oh yeah, like,
with 1 day off.
and this kid's like 18. It,
Mate,
you'd
30
explode.
clients is a lot.
Yeah, I
Th-
remember. I think where I used to PT before I went full online, and I remember when I hit 10 clients, and I was like, I feel so unbelievably overwhelmed, busy,
Mhm.
seriously worked, and at that point, like 10 clients that was like 20 to 30 hours of work a week. That's like quite high concentration.
Mhm.
If you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh yeah, I want to build my client base up to be absolutely massive, it will get massive if you are really, really good with each individual. So just think micro all the time, and then you will end up with this beast. And I don't
Well,
have a beast, by the way. It's a baby.
basically, yeah, like, mate, I'm still so far off where I wanna be, you know? Like,
You always will.
but what's the rush? Like, you're always gonna want more.
Yeah.
So it's like, 10x your business. Like, well, basically, I've worked with a business mentor, right?
Do
Short term, I
you want
did.
to shout them out?
Do I want to? No.
That says it all,
No,
doesn't it?
really, like big guy in the industry. Really rate him like as an actual person. It was actually valuable. It was. I gained some value from it, so I don't regret it. But the main thing I learned was, okay, so basically, I just need to one put my online presence online like I would if I was a PT in the gym.
Yeah.
Because if you're not on a floor and no one can see you and you can't talk to people, you have to replicate that floor online. Simple as that. So you have to stimulate conversation, show your journey, show you know your shit, and chat to people just like you would on the gym floor because that's how you get clients.
Yeah.
So you just need to replicate that environment online. So I was like, okay, cool. Then I just need to eat shit for a few years, learn how to become a good online coach, look after my people, and they'll look after me.
You've got it.
Do you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
was just like, it's not that deep. It's just like, I was like, I kind of don't want like 50 clients right now. I just want to focus on being a good coach. And I don't care about earning 10K per month right now. Like that will come
Yeah.
eventually. And if I can get to that point, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
So it's any like young online coaches out there by any means, I'm not like a top killer in the industry, but I'm not doing bad. Just fucking chill out, man. Just take
Yeah.
your time. And like you want it to be slow because you want to build good relationships with people and you don't want a leaky bucket where like you're just dropping clients and you have to get new clients all the time because all of them are leaving because you can't deliver the
Yeah.
service you want to deliver because you've got too many people on your hands and that's not what you want.
Just whilst we're talking about online coaching and stuff, obviously with you having a different kind of education to what I actually thought that you had, going to uni and studying products or whatever you said it was,
Mhm. Product design.
product design,
Do you remember
right?
how it's made?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Da, 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 da. On this episode of How It's Made, bowling balls, like that kind of stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. That
Cool.
was me, mate. That was me.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Right. So
Sorry,
then,
I made myself laugh. I'm fucking sad.
unbelievable. I watched one of them on how to make pencils, and I just found it
It's,
amazing.
it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amazing. Right. So, how did you go about educating yourself then when it comes to online coaching?
So I was before I even considered online training, online coaching. I'd been training myself for like 7 years, like 6 7 years. I then when I left university, I was a level 3 PT. So
Yeah.
obviously I was a PT proactively. So I did that for a short time, but I then educated myself just through obviously working through my PT clients, taking multiple ones of them through dieting phases, gaining phases, myself through dieting and gaining phases. A lot of anecdotal experience, but then I've
Yeah.
also invested into online courses and extra stuff such as the J3 University, Muscle Mentors was a big one as well, like a big one for me. Um, Working with online coaches, I
Yeah.
guess you could say. So, like, actually working with like Lewis, for instance. I've worked with Josh Bridgman, all very valuable. But largely, mate, just anecdotal experience.
Yeah.
Taking myself through it, eating shit, learning from my own mistakes, really. But yeah, just investing into some courses on the side, working with online coaches, working with my PT clients, and then transferring that online.
Good man. Good
What
man.
about you?
That is like the perfect answer. Me, I've always played sport from being a wee nipper. I
Hmm.
went to university, studied sports science, did reasonably well at it. I actually, yeah, I met Andy Chappelle, the president of the WNBF UK, whilst I was at uni, and I would say that kind of like got me into like following natural bodybuilding and natural bodybuilders.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like I remember Andy like going on prep whilst he was working at Hallam, and I was just like, he's shredded. There's no way he's natural. And all the other lecturers that like studied sports science were like, no, he's definitely not natural. But obviously he is. And and as I've got older, I've seen that, yeah, he is definitely natural because he's average. No, I'm joking.
He's the Presidente.
He's the big geffer. That was a nice tangent talking about Andy. Then yeah, just kind of like you, I did my level 3 PT. I worked on the gym floor for like, God, 5 years. Yeah, and then, but I would say in the last, I'm going to say 12 months, I thought it would be a smart move just to try and re-educate myself, just to go over a few things, just to refresh my mind rather than like, sticking in the same routine of like, this is how I do it, just to open my mind a little bit. And I think I was talking to the GOAT AJ Morris in the gym, and the amount of content on the NBW website. So NBW are one of my sponsors, but this is not a plug, I promise you. The amount of content that is on there for gaining phases, dieting phases, contest preps, peaks, training women, dealing with women's hormones whilst going through contest preps.
You don't want to do that.
It's all on there for $9.99 a month, which is the cheapest thing that. Well, if I was starting out as an online coach now, I would probably just watch that and sign up there rather than spending the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds that I actually spent on education.
Yeah, because not only that, a lot of the information on there is, again, it's anecdotal. It's like field tested stuff, and like you can read a lot of these like very expensive courses that you can invest into, like nutritional courses and whatnot, absolutely do have their place. But when it comes to like very specific, like field tested anecdotal experience, like NBW is like fantastic for that.
Yeah.
So absolutely plug them, because anyone out there that needs to level up their level of education, but also just join a sick community, NBW is there. And some of the stuff you read in the textbook, it just doesn't apply to real life sometimes, almost. So yeah, definitely check out that. It's a fantastic resource. And that's similar to like Muscle Mentors as well. Unfortunately, they're not around anymore.
It is.
But again, another very good resource there too.
Did you put a questions box up? I believe you did.
I did indeed. Yeah. So people, we've got a little bit of a time crunch here of 15 minutes.
No, it's all right. I'll just make my consultation call wait. I'm sure he's a podcast listener anyway. It's called Mateo. Shout out to Mateo. I hope you sign up, bro.
What a sick guy.
Go on.
One gym in the world you both want to visit, you've not been to.
Alpha Land. Yeah, boy. Go in there.
Well,
2 days.
Yeah, I would say, in all honesty, probably the same. So
I'll get you a t-shirt.
I'm gonna live vicariously through you, mate.
It's just gonna be unbelievable. Right. Question from me, from joe.mead_. This is a client that I had 18 months ago on a peak week protocol. Joe thought it was a really smart idea to carb load using crunchies. That is crunchy chocolate bars. I can confirm that this was not on any educational, what would you call it, site or anything or course that I've been on.
It's not an NBW special.
No, and I can confirm also it doesn't work. So thanks, Joe, for the question of Josh's thoughts on Tom's calves.
They're
fine.
Well, there needs to be calves there to have an opinion or thought.
Your shin, you've got a really nice shin.
Nice tibia and fibia, bro.
They're shredded. They are shredded.
They're shredded, all right. They're like little beef jerky strips at the moment. So that is the thought right there.
Your turn. Next cue.
Is there a quote or a mantra that you live by?
Oof. I'm sure there is. I'm sure if I sat down and thought long enough about it.
Pints.
Yeah. Pints. More pints, less problems. That's what I heard.
More pints, less problems.
There
That's
we go.
it. That was serious. There we go. That's yours. Yeah.
Yeah, that is mine. Go on, Tom. Give us something deep.
Don't think, do.
I knew you were going to say that because it's on your arm.
Don't think, do.
There we go, and that's why we're here today. Joe Gillen has said, "Get me on, I say, kiss."
Oh, of course, Joe. Your question is "get me on." It's not an
grow up,
actual real
Joe.
question.
Oh,
Come on,
Joe,
mate.
you're not even natty, Joe. God.
Yeah, everyone. Joe's not. I'm joking.
Joe,
He is actually natty.
definitely
He is
natty.
actually natty.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is natty.
Sorry, Joe. I love him, mate.
Those are some natty glutes. I got one more. Not really fitness related, but do you guys ever stress about making it or being a success?
Oh God. What is success? Define success. Right.
Literally, when I read that earlier, mate, that was the first thing that popped into my head. It's like, what do you define? Like, you go. Yeah.
So right now, or I would say for most of the past 2 or 3 years, I wake up every morning and just feel generally quite happy. And I go to bed feeling the exact same. So I would deem that pretty successful. Like, on the day to day, life is a success.
100%. 100%. I would agree. What's he called who asked this question? Sorry, I've forgotten your name. Sir J, or something like Sir Chatterjee. Anyway, what do you define as success? It's like, if that for Josh is just being a happy, chilled guy, that feels pretty damn fulfilled. That is success, So I guess, mate, it's all depends on what you define as success. Is it money? Is it monetary? Is it having like a family that you love? Is it, winning a certain title in something? Like it just all depends. So for me, again, like I feel like with human nature and how we are, like we're never truly going to feel fulfilled no matter how high up we go. So just being a happy person on a day-to-day basis,
You're being
and
a good person.
yeah, like for me, like I feel like I am succeeding. I am heading in the direction that I want to go.
Good.
So, whenever I reach a point where I feel like I've succeeded, I don't know if that will ever be, just because of how humans work and we always want more and want to go further.
Yeah.
Yeah. So long as I'm waking up happy, going to bed happy, just like Josh said, I feel like that is in a way success. So yeah, I feel like questions like that, man, you can't really deep it too much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've got quite this is from one of my boys, Jake. And the question is, and I know it's relating to himself because I asked him, advice for those 50-50 RE moving to enhancement in the future. So the people that are on the fence on whether you should stay natty or whether you should go and jump on the old juice.
Is this Jake, your client, who's like ridiculous at deadlifts?
It was ridiculous at pretty much everything. He
I've
did
seen
a
him.
230 Romanian
Ridiculous.
deadlift the other day after being on holiday for a week.
What?
Yeah, I know.
To be fair, that's a full hall pass to jump on the old.
Yeah, innit?
The next Hollingshead,
This is what I said to him. Like he's got the potential to be the top of both or either.
Oh, 100%. No, but like obviously I don't want to advocate it, but like if there was anyone to like do it, it would be someone like that.
I would disagree, Tom, right? And I'll tell you for why. If you're 50-50, in
Don't
my
do it.
eyes, that is zero.
What have you got to be?
You've got to
You've
be
got to
all
be.
in.
You got to be all in,
You've got
man.
to be all in. These 50-50, oh yeah, I might give this a go. You don't bother. If you're 50-50 about smoking your first cigarette, right? Don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
You either do it all in or you don't bother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that, man.
That's my mantra for life.
Because
You're either all in or you're not in at all.
you've got to sit down, right? Easy solution for this, because a lot of people just like that they don't really give it that much thought. Pros, cons, line down the middle, bullet point, literally as many pros of the situation as you can think of, as many cons of the situation as you can think of. If the pros greatly outweigh the cons, maybe go for it. And even if that isn't enough to convince you, then definitely do not do it. And if the cons greatly outweigh the pros, then yeah, probably not worth it. Just don't go down that route. So yeah, I agree, man.
So I just kind of want to bring up a little bit of a subject on this. So I am all for natural bodybuilding. I think how the WMBF do it with 10 years drug free and polygraph testing and going, you giving it the full
9 yards.
yeah, just checking everything. I love it. But say if you're in your early 20s or your late teens and you're thinking, I want to jump on the juice, and you do it and you regret it. So say for instance, you might inject yourself, horrible thought, twice, right? And you think, oh my
Mhm.
God, what a horrific circumstance I found myself in here. I really regret it. But because I can no longer compete naturally, like that they are almost encouraged to just continue going on the route that they're on. Do you know what I mean? Like I look at
Mhm.
George Osborne and I feel sorry for him right now because
Yeah,
he's
big
kind
time.
of like dipped his toe in, then he jumped in, and then he thought, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that." Um, and it's just a bit of a shame. Like you almost found yourself in no man's land from not having, I don't know, like the mental awareness to look, to have more foresight into what's going to happen.
You've got to be in a very mentally secure, happy, fulfilled place to make a decision like that.
Mm.
And I know George, when he did it, came off the back of a prep and just went straight in. And I think you said last podcast, never make any big decisions when you're on prep. None of
Yeah,
them. Get yourself out of that position where you're going to be mentally impaired, hormonally in the bin. Seems like the smart thing to do because obviously, hormones are low. Therefore, let's just get hormones high again, like
yeah,
really, really quickly. But no, like you need to be 100% in a good place to make a decision like that, just so you're not making it out of insecurity, out of emotion, out of anything like that. Because, yeah, can you imagine right now with how you feel and how things are going for yourself and how happy you are with like where you're at, not being able to do that, just taken away from you because of decision that you made? It's rough, man. I've thought about that as well, and it's just 100%. You need to give it a lot
a
of
lot
thought.
of thought. And if you think, yeah, I've given it a lot of thought, give it even more thought.
Hmm.
Oh, oh,
If the thought of taking that route excites the hell out of you, and you have like no interest in natural bodybuilding at all, go for it.
yeah,
You know, if not, if you're like on the fence and you're still like, yeah, like I feel like I could do well naturally and still enjoy it, just stick with it
yeah,
because you're still going to get the same amount of fulfillment out of it. You know, it's like for me, I know that I'm still going to have so much fun competing naturally.
yeah,
You know, and like I've got such a big task on my hands to do well in the natural federations that like that's so exciting.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
You obviously know Jake, my former training partner, my little amigo,
he
Jake
is.
Brayley. Yeah. Um, when I first met Jake, it was during COVID. Jake had just moved up to Rotherham, and then the gyms got shut. So I said, "Oh, you can come and train at my house, bro. We'll be besties." And from day one, Jake was like, "I will go enhanced, but I want to maximize my natural potential first." And then he jumped on the juice, like what, 27, 28 years old. If there's a way of doing it, that, in my opinion, is the way.
He's
You've given everything a fair crack of the whip. You've given your body chance to develop, your brain chance to develop, and then you make a decision.
hmm No, I agree, and he is ridiculous now because he's built off of such a good natural foundation.
Yeah, but it's such a shame, Jake, because you're probably going to die, mate. But I hope not. Love you, bro.
Well, unfortunately, mate, we none of us get out of here alive.
Yeah, in it. Um,
but I'd rather do it naturally.
Yes. I have another question. I've actually got a few. I'm so popular.
Oh my God.
Average Dad 88. Nice chap. We had a little conversation in the DMs the other day about his pancake recipe.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Advice for someone going into a gaining phase but anxious about gaining BF. Does BF stand for best friends or a boyfriend? Or could it stand for body fat?
Oh, that was such a dad joke, man.
If
For
you-
average dad. Dude, well, first off, it's called average dad. It sounds like he hasn't got too much self-esteem. So I would say,
Change
fuck
your
it up.
name.
Change your fucking name. Come on, let's get a little bit of drive, a little bit of self-confidence here, right? What would you rather do? Would you rather be what was it? He was feeling a little bit uncertain about gaining body fat, yeah?
Yeah. Anxious
Okay.
about gaining BF.
Oh, well, just stay anxious about not building muscle then.
Oh, Tom,
Was that harsh?
that was harsh. You
Sorry,
looked straight down the camera there and you were brutal.
I was pretty
Stop
brutal.
being
Sorry.
soft.
Stop being soft. No. Okay, so that is a thing. Like, you do have to just not be scared, because you've got to choose then between, all right, well, just stay unsatisfied with not growing, or be temporarily unsatisfied with gaining a little bit of body fat, getting a bit soft, which is much, much, much harder to build muscle mass than what it is to lose body fat. Losing body fat in comparison to building muscle mass is easy. Like, easy, right? And it's a lot quicker as well. So the more time you can invest into obviously gaining nice and slowly, the better.
Yeah.
But my initial recommendation would be to make sure that your starting position is good. So you haven't got too much fat to start with, because that means then throughout that lean gaining phase, you can take your time, obviously gaining some body weight. And so when the end point for that gaining phase is done, when you're satisfied with what you've achieved, you're not too out of shape because you've started from a good standpoint. Do you want to add on to that?
I just
question.
I like to use the analogy of building a greenhouse. So you're not building a brick shithouse, you are building a greenhouse. A greenhouse is an environment for fruit and vegetable to thrive and grow in. And that is what you want to do with your muscles. I always refer to muscles as tomatoes as well.
Oh, I like it, breaking it down.
Yeah. Right. It is 8 o'clock. I cannot, for the life of me, leave a consultation call waiting. So we're going to wrap things up here, Tom, unless you've got any final thoughts.
No, I think that's it, man. This is the last podcast now until we compete, both of us.
Yep.
So I just want to say massive good luck to you, obviously. I hope things go well. I hope I can shift my edema in time for my show.
You will.
And we'll see how it goes, man. This is the last one for me now. I'm not doing any more after this.
You're definitely not. There's no chance that I can convince you to come to Germany. No? Okay.
Done. 5 shows. 5 is my lucky number. I'm going to leave it at that.
I really like the number 5 as well for shows.
But, well, I just like the number. I think it's an aesthetic number. I think it's quite nice. It's got the curve, then it's got like the little right angle at the top. It's just a nice number.
It looks a little bit like an S as well, like Stockton.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, that's it. So good luck, dude. I hope all goes well.
Yeah,
keep me in the loop. I want to live vicariously. Send me all the updates. I want to see Alpha Land. Just send me videos. All right.
I'm going to get Christian Guzman to say, I'm going to get him to film an intro for the podcast. Hi, I'm Christian Guzman and I love board shorts and banter. This is going to happen. I'm a man of my word. It's going to happen.
Are you going to get me a t-shirt and get it signed as well?
Yeah. If you want a t-shirt signed, I'll get it signed. Who do you want it signed by? Me?
Can you get me a pack of sour strips as well, please?
All right, you're taking the piss now, mate. Right. I'll see you in the next podcast.
Right. I'll catch you in a bit. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.